So friends, till now we have used the stateless widget and it is okay. Yes, we don't need to change any value or we don't have any dynamic data or state in this page. Remember, the stateless widget doesn't really change after it is created. It doesn't contain any kind of data or state that changes over time or in reaction to any other user interaction like clicking a button and then changing something. But what if we need something to change inside our app over time or to display some sort of dynamic data? For example, we could have a button at the bottom which when clicked is gonna change this level value. Now that means the widget value gonna change over time, and for that we need to use stateful widget. Remember, stateful widget can change over time or it can contain the dynamic data that changes. So the data can be changed over time is gonna need to be stored in state object. So it is gonna have value that gonna change, and in our case it is the number, or it can be color or the background color. Either way it gonna change the state of the widget. So when the widget changes, obviously something is gonna change. Either way it gonna change the state of the widget. So when the widget changes, obviously something is gonna change, and therefore the UI over here needs to be updated. So let's try creating one of the stateful widget. So for that I'm gonna come down to the end of the screen and then create the stateful widget. So for that you can type st control space and you're gonna have the options, and then here you can select the stateful widget, and now I'm gonna give the name to the test. So friends, and now we have when we take a look at this, it actually created the two classes first. You can see here there are two classes it has created. The first one is this test class that extends this stateful widget, and when we go up and see, it is pretty much similar. You can see it has extended the stateless widget, and you can see here it has extended the stateful widget. So here we are inheriting from this stateful widget. Inside it you can see we have this create state function, which is then returning this other function, the test state. And now this is instantiating the other class that it is created for us. And now this is the state object. This one is the state object. So this is creating the state object for this stateful widget that we just created, and this create state is linking this state object to this stateful widget. And so now inside this state object we can define the data or the variables that can change over the time or with the user interaction. And again inside the test widget you can see there is build function method, and then it is returning an widget, and it is pretty much similar or same at this build method over this stateless widget. Okay, let's come down. So in future when you're gonna use this test widget, we're gonna return the widget tree from here. So here we have this stateful widget that is linking to the state object. So whenever we have the data that needs to be changed in the future, and when we update the data, this build method is gonna re-update and with the data that we have changed. Okay, let's have a simple example. Let's say we have the simple value that is counter, let's say 1, and whenever this counter value is gonna change in the future, we're gonna reflect it inside this build method, and whenever it changes, this widget is gonna re-update or repaint with the value that is updated into this widget tree. And whenever this counter value is gonna change to 2, then this build method is gonna re-update again or rebuild again, and then it gonna get this value to this widget tree. So now we need to get to figure out how to change this stateless widget into this stateful widget. So for that you can just copy this scaffold up to here and then return in the build function here, and then you can change the class name here and here and here, but I'm not gonna do it, because it is taking a bit longer time. There is a simpler way so that you can change the stateless widget to the stateful widget. So we can change this stateless widget in a simpler manner. So for that you can go to this stateless widget and click it, and in the bulb I can click here and you can get the option convert to stateful widget, and whenever you click it, okay, and you shall have your stateful widget created. You can see you have the class that is extending the stateful widget, and then we are linking this state with this state object, and we have our on this widget tree. So when we reload it, we're gonna have the same output as before. So friends, now let's change this label whenever we click the button. So for that, earlier as before we have used the floating action button. So for that I'm gonna use the floating action button after the app bar, and it's gonna take the floating action button widget. Okay, on pressed, let's leave it empty for now, and then skip the child to this action button, and the child would be I would give the icon button, as I want to increment this value. So icons dot, for that let's give add, and along with it, okay, let's make it const, sorry, oops, const, right, and I'm gonna change the background color, and then with the background color property and colors dot, let's say gray of, let's keep 800, oops, 800, okay, and reload it again, and you can see a beautiful floating action button here. Okay, this should be the last property of the floating action button, right, and the lint trigger should be gone now. Okay, and let's reload it again, and we have this floating action button here. So now whenever we click this button, I'm gonna increase this level. So for that we need to have an value that gonna change. Let's create that value, and that will be integer type, and then let's say level value, and let's make it 0. And to use this value to our widget tree, we need to define this value into the widget tree so that we can have this value here. So it is in the label text, so coming down, okay, right, we need to define that value to this text. So inside, whenever we want to display or get the variable value into the string, here we can do that with the $sign, and then here we can give the variable name, right, and when we reload it, and we're gonna have the 0 value here, right, we have this 0 value. So friends, now whenever I click this button, I wanna update this value. So on pressed function of this floating action button, we need to update this value, right. Now let's do that. So for that I'm going to go to the floating action button on pressed function. So inside here I'm gonna update the value, label value equals label value plus 1. So what I am doing is I am taking this label value and I am increasing it with 1 and reassigning this to the label value. And in short form you can also do it plus equals, and this works as the same. So when I reload it, it is not going to change the value whenever I click the button. So whenever we need to update this value to this widget tree, we're gonna use the function, that is set state method, and it gonna take the function right. Then inside this set state I'm gonna perform the same action that I have previously done, and then reload it, and you can have the value of this label value as previous because I already have some value created. So now whenever we click this button, the value is gonna updated. So what actually it is happening is whenever this onPressed is called, this set state method is called, and inside this set state we are increasing this label value, and whenever this set state is called, it is going to rebuild this widget tree, and then it will update it, and then it gonna have the value to this widget tree, and we are seeing the value here. So friends, whenever this set state is called, this gonna update the value and then rebuild this widget tree, and then this widget tree gonna have the updated value, and then we gonna see the updated value in our application. So this set state does is what it does, that it rebuilds this widget whenever it is called, and it is as simple as that. So in this video we learned how to create the stateful widget and update the state of the screen or the state of the object or the value. So friends, this is all about stateful widget, and if you have any queries regarding this video, you can ping me and comment. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.